Hey guys, so welcome to EP series number 4. Today we're going to talk about relationships, but this EP series is about you guys putting out EPs, which I know that you're doing, and actually getting the most traction. I want to talk about sales, I want to talk about distribution. If you haven't seen the rest of the series, the other 3 videos, then there's going to be a link probably about here, which you can click, which will take you to the other videos. They'll be on YouTube. If you can do me a favor, if you can like and subscribe to the YouTube, then it'll give you notifications and you'll trigger the algorithm. That will help me and you'll get to see more of these videos. So in the first video, we were talking about purpose. What is the purpose of the EP? Why are we making this EP rather than just making it for no reason, which is what a lot of bands do? Secondly, we were talking about targets, tangible targets that we can work towards rather than just putting it out there and seeing what happens. And then the last one, the third one, we were talking about sales. Actually, how are you going to physically sell this product? Not promotion, not just marketing and promotion, actual physical sales. And now I want to talk about relationships because this is very important. So at the moment, since I made the last video, I've probably had about, I don't know, 60 or 70 people who've come through asking about the EP. Still, always, going to put out an EP. How am I going to distribute it? How am I going to get it out there? Can you help with that? I don't mind answering the same question again and again. The problem I have is most of the questions and most of the EPs that are being released are based around one simple premise, which is this. If you build it, they will come. Cue Kevin Costner. If you build it, they will come. Fits in nicely. The problem is, this isn't true. When it comes to this EP, I'll tell you what happens. If you build it, you will have built it. That's it. That's literally all that happens. And this is what happens every week with bands. They get their EP, and it's kind of like, we've got this EP because we needed to have an EP. And it's almost like it's something that's going to keep the band together. It's almost like you've had a child to keep the relationship together. You've made this EP, it's really, really important. And then you don't really know what to do with it. So you've built it and no one's cared. So what we've got to do is we've got to get past this, if you build it, they will come. And we've got to actually get to the point where we are actually getting momentum and traction and selling it. Again, go back to the sales one. But today, I want to draw you a new diagram because I like diagrams. So check this out. This is my new diagram, okay? Oh. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but Damian, why have you drawn a wonky boob on the blackboard? Well, it's not a boob, it's my new graph. So, this is my graph. In here, this one here, right in this little thing, right? This is what I call your first relationships. Okay, now your first relationships are family and very close friends, if I can spell. Okay, in the second tier, this one here, this is your second, like a LinkedIn page. This is your second tier, okay? Now in your second tier, this is your social media family. This is your audience, okay? So I'm gonna put social audience. I would put family, but I'm going to put audience because I chose that word. Okay, so first, friends and family, very, very close. These are the people that we go back to the sales and we just say, no, you have to buy this. This is very important. The social audience, this is the bit that everybody wants to work on, okay? This is the bit which is looking after your audience. But the massive booby bit, this here, is your third tier. And your third tier is anyone else who can or possibly will hear about you and your music. So this is basically anyone that you can get in front of. So I'm going to write here, anyone reachable. So not anyone in the world. Excuse my childlike writing. I only have one GCSE, you know. This is anyone reachable. This is people that you can get in front of. This is demographic that works for you that maybe haven't seen you yet, or possibly they have seen you, but they're not part of your social audience. So this is people that maybe know you exist or will know you exist. There's a lot of people in this part of it. Now, what happens is, this is the bit that you expect from. This is the bit that you've got to keep warm. This is the bit that we work on quite a lot. But this bit here is massive, because this is all about relationships. Now, I want to talk about that, how you build a relationship, because if you think about this bit here, everybody, when you meet them, is working their way inwards, okay? You first meet someone, start chatting to them, they're right on the outer tier of this. And then as you get to know them more and you go out for more drinks and you chat and they come into your circle, they get a bit closer and a bit closer and a bit closer and a bit closer until they get to this point. They're very, very close friends and family, which is what we've got to try and do. We've got to try and culminate these relationships, because businesses and bands and everything, they're built on relationships. So everyone's pushing in this way. Your job is to try and get people from here to here and from here to here as quick as possible. And everyone's moving that way, because I still have Skypes with people that used to be here, then they became in the inner circle. Now all of a sudden I chat to them on a regular basis. They're in my friend group. I just class them as friends. They're just mates. I go out for a drink with them. So they're moving in. So what's really important is we've got to start figuring out how it is that we're going to get people from here into the social circle, or the online digital social circle, and then potentially even into your friend group, so that people feel like they're included. How are we going to do that? So at the moment, what people are doing is they're treating relationships in a very modern digital way, okay? If you think about your friends, if you think about how you met your friends, you met them by chatting with them, by engaging with them, by doing things with them. But what's the one thing that you gave them? Because at the moment, when you're putting out your EP, when you're putting out your music, what you're doing is you're just saying, me, 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 me. And the audience is going, oh yeah, that's cool, because I signed up to you as a singer-songwriter, so that's cool. I want to hear you do singer-songwriter. But that's not building a relationship. That's just marketing at them. That's promotion. It's promoting me, 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 me. How is it that you're going to take it to the next step and start developing people into this bit here? Now, the way you're going to do that is you're going to give them something more than just the thing that you do, which is what I talk about quite a lot. Giving them the thing that you do. If you're a singer-songwriter, then you sing and you write songs and you give that to your audience, and that's how you kind of look after your audience. But how do you build a relationship with people? You give them something else. And that is, I don't know if this is still in shot. No. Nope. I'm gonna put it here. You give them you. Because that's how you build a relationship, and that's what I'm not seeing from bands. I'm seeing people having very formal conversations. Thank you very much for that. Yes, that's very appreciated. But that's not how you build a relationship. That's not how people get to the inner circle. They get to this circle and they bring their way in. This goes from outside, seeing your band and liking your page, into the inner, which is super fans, which is, possibly friends. They're all getting closer and closer to you. This is what you've got to give them. You've got to give them you. You've got to give them your time as well as your talent. It's got to be more than just you giving them an EP or a free EP. Yes, we talk about offers. In the last one, we're talking about sales and we're talking about offers. But now, before we get to that point, we want to talk about how you're going to culminate these relationships. Now, there's a sort of a bit of a sciencey thing where people say that you can only really, from prehistoric times, you can only really keep in touch sort of mentally with 150 people. But nowadays you have to keep in touch with more. Like, how many people are on your Facebook? You might be watching this with 500 to 1,000 people on your Facebook, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that person. I did this gig with that person, or I went on holiday and I met that person. So you've got to keep in touch with these people, and you've got to start giving people more than just a free EP or a free t-shirt. You've actually got to engage with them. You've got to chat with them. You've got to do things, which is more. Now, if you can start to do that, what happens is you are going to bring people in from the outer sides to the inner circle. Now, this is why this is important, is because when you are making content, and this is what I'm seeing, some of you guys have 2,000 plus friends on Facebook. Fantastic. But when you're putting content out, you're getting 6 to 10 people who like the piece of content, and I'm noticing that some of those might even be the band members. So you don't have 2,000 people who are engaged. You just have 2,000 people that at some point have either heard about you and gone, yeah, cool, that's good, I like you, but they're not fully engaged with your band. The like is not enough, and you have to warm people up before you do all the rest of the stuff, before you sell it. You've done it with these people here. You've warmed these people enough because they're your close friends and your close family. You've engaged with them on a personal level, obviously very personal, but you've engaged with them enough so that you can say, go and buy my CD, go and download this, go and watch that, go and stream this, and they'll say, yep, I will do that. So you're bringing people into that. How are you going to do it? It's got to be more personal. It's got to be more you. You don't have to take everyone out for a drink if you've got 2,000 people, but you've got to find a way to go from having 5 people liking a piece of content when you've got 2,000 people who like your page. That just says you haven't warmed them up enough. You haven't given them enough of you. You might have given them content, but you haven't given them enough of you. So personality, you are more important than anything else. You are the thing that people want. So what I want to see is for EP Series 4, is I want to see you actually starting to make some kind of content or finding a way. There's loads of ways you can do it. You don't need me to give you 10 different ways to do this, but it's got to be more than just promotion. It's got to be more than saying, my EP is here. It's got to be something which involves you and your time that means something to someone. So we are breaking them in from the outer circle into the social circle into this bit here, so they feel as close as possible. If you can do that, people will buy from you. People will go and do the things you say. But at the moment, what I'm hearing is, this is Facebook's fault because Facebook changed the algorithm. No, it's not. I was a bit worried about the Facebook algorithm. I've put out loads of content since Facebook changed the algorithm. It's fine, absolutely fine. Why? Because I know that I have a really good relationship with so many of you, and because I feel like I'm bringing you value, and therefore people are watching and commenting and liking and sharing my content, and therefore the engagement hasn't really changed anything. So it's gone past just me saying, I'm going to put out a video and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's got me trying to engage with you and trying for me to have a relationship with you personally. And that's what I'm trying to do. I just literally spent half an hour answering emails and messages to you guys because I want to be able to work with you or help you or just answer questions and be a part of your journey. Just building relationships. So that's what I want you to do today. I want you to think about it, because if you are getting not as much engagement on your Facebook posts as you should because of the amount of likes that you've got, it's because you're not giving enough value. And the value is not you telling people what you do. Nobody gives a shit about that. This here is the most important thing. You've got to find a way of giving you to your audience. Good. Right, so I need you to like, subscribe. I'm gonna have a think about, I've got a few other ideas. On the next one, I really would like to talk about how you are going to distribute the EP on blogs, vlogs, and actually getting other people to talk about it to do some of the work for you. So that's what I'm gonna start working on. We'll do that probably at the end of this week. So I need you to like and subscribe this and make a plan, write it down. I'll see you guys tomorrow.